Hey there, volunteers for ProPresenter. This is Scott. Just want to give you a little overview of the program we use to get all of our visuals up to the big screens in the main Sanc. It's called ProPresenter from a company called renewedvision.com if you want to go to their website and see a lot more videos. But this one will be just a little more streamlined in just to how to run the Sunday service, not so much how to create the slides and build the presentation. So the program's open now, a little bit similar to iTunes if you're familiar with that at all. As far as this column over here is where like your music and all your different categories would be in iTunes, and then down here we have playlists that we create for different sorts of services. Our Sunday services we just have in our default playlist. So default's open. Our first thing is our pre-service slides. Now these line items you'll go to as the service progresses. You'll typically have verbal cues either from myself or from Kay Chung as he gives instruction over the headset for the entire service, so there's always that extra insurance. So we start with the pre-service slides. Whatever line item is selected, you can see in the main workflow window all the different slides that will come up for the different songs and sermon slides and whatnot. So at the beginning of the day, typically we boot up the program and go right to pre-service slides and just click on one of the first slide. You can see up here in the corner of the slide there's a little clock with a number next to it. Basically that's a timer saying after this many seconds it'll automatically go to the next slide. That one's set for 10. So boom, it's just switched over to this slide here. It's also set for 10. This one looks like a 6 and so on. And then over here there's a loop icon basically telling this when you're done with this slide, go back to the very first one. So this is just our pre-service slide loop. You just click on any one of these, typically the first one, and it'll scroll through all of them and then start over again. This window up here is basically your preview window that represents the 3 screens on stage. The way the computer looks at it is one huge rectangle. Obviously this would be the center screen, and then our 2 side screens here. The majority of our content will go to the side screens from what we call, or what ProPresenter calls, props and messages. We have it configured so the props and messages go to those side screens. So pre-service, for instance, we have props on, and if props and messages weren't open, right up here at the top there's a little icon for both of them to bring the props and the messages to the foreground there. And any one of these props that you click on, like there's a Discovery Church logo, you can see is now over here up on the side screens. It's kind of small, but take my word for it. And whatever prop you choose, you can see that it's coming up in this bar up here showing you that that's on. You could just click on that little X to turn it off. You can see it goes away up there on the left. Or you can just click on it again and make it go away. And down here with messages, this would be like the countdown before service. This little pull down window here is a couple of different countdowns. We have our 9 o'clock service, countdown to 9 o'clock. It's already set up to be 9 o'clock, so we just basically hit show message. And up here I think we have a text comes up, worship begins in, and then it's a countdown to 9 o'clock. If we don't want that up there, similar to props, we can click this little X, or you just hide it and have it disappear. It's still counting down, but it's just not visible to the congregation. Another thing we'd use this messages for is what we call the parent call. If there's a crying baby in one of our other environments and we need to reach the parent, we'll go to parent call, and what happens is somebody will call us from like Discovery Land and say, we have a crying baby, the number is, and every child has a number on their little ID bracelet thing. H1234, we'll say. And so we hit show message, and it comes up in this window here on the side screens. It'll be on the bottom of the side screens, and hopefully get that parent's attention. It says child H1234, and then hopefully we'll get a call back from Discovery Land or wherever the problem is, and they say, okay, that parent showed up, so you can take that off now. So we'll just hit hide, and it goes away. And then other than that, like I said, the other services, 10:30 service, same sort of thing, show message or hide it. Okay, so that's our props and our messages. And now our main workflow window. So the service is going to begin. We'll go to the first song, and I just click on the line item next, which in this case is Salvation is Here. And because we have the announcement still going on that main screen, I'm going to click up here. That's this Clear All. These levels of clearing things are also associated with the function keys. On the top left corner of your keyboard, you have F1, F2, F3, F4. These keys do coordinate, so if I want to clear all, I can just click on that, or on my keyboard I'll just tap F1, and it knows to clear all. So basically it's clearing foregrounds, backgrounds, props, messages. It will clear everything. Or if we were in a case where we just wanted to clear the props and you didn't want to do it from over here, you can clear props from here. Backgrounds, slides, or everything. And the difference with this, the backgrounds are, we have just like colored backgrounds that automatically should stretch to all three screens. They'll be the background for the text of the songs. And then what's in front of that, or consider also the slides, would be like the lyrics. As we click on them, the lyrics now display. Again, this is just the center screen here, and the side screens represented by the extra width of that rectangle. And as the song goes along, either with the right arrow on the keyboard, or even spacebar, I believe. Yeah, either spacebar or the right or left arrow, you can go back and forth between these different slides and just follow the band. Actually, let me rephrase that. When we're doing songs, you want to lead the band. We don't want to be putting up the lyrics as they're being sung. We want to put up the lyrics before they need to be sung. So like this lyric here, the very last line is hopes and fears. As the congregation is singing hopes and they've already read the word, it's in their brain, they're singing the word fears. We want to pop over to this one while they're singing their last word, and they can actually know what's coming up before they sing it. One tip that I usually give people is just look out at the main screens and sing along, whether it's in your head or aloud. Sing along, and if you're finding that you're having to hesitate and you're missing the first word or so, then you're not doing it soon enough. So you want to be leading the band, because actually on the back wall there's another screen that some of the band people will use as kind of a teleprompter of sorts. So we don't want them to be forgetting the words either. All of this is set up during the week by the worship leader or somebody else here on staff. So the lyrics typically already all in order. We have our rehearsal and sound check on Sunday mornings around 8 a.m. This gives you a chance to run through everything and get familiar with it. If there's a change in the lyrics, or they're going to sing this verse twice, then we'll know to just duplicate these slides or for you to make notes. So that 8 o'clock rehearsal / run through just is good for everybody involved. Here's a song. Let me bounce down. As I get past this little instrumental here, you can see that coming up as another chorus, and it's actually going to change backgrounds. Again, I'll just hit the right arrow, and now a new background has appeared with those lyrics. If for some reason we wanted to clear that background without clearing everything, remember these buttons up here, I could just clear background, BKG, background graphic, and just the background would disappear. If I just wanted to clear the lyrics, I could do one of two things. I could either find a blank slide, or I could clear slides. Because this works, again, this works in layers. Here's a grayed out slide. If I'm just using, again, the right arrow, that slide is just disabled. If I were to right click on it, you can see I could re-enable the slide. But right now, because this particular week they're not doing that extra chorus, but if I'm just using the right arrow, it will just skip right past that and go to the next one. I'll go left again. Let me just go left again, and then go right. Salvation is here. He lives in me. And it just skips right over it. If for some reason we knew we did need that slide, I can always click on it and it will show. But if you're just doing the right arrow, sometimes, like I said, they'll just take out a couple of slides rather than deleting them from the song, because they might need them the next time they do the song. I'll just scroll ahead a little further. You have another background change down here. Again, I'm just hitting right arrow to advance through. New background, new lyrics, and they're at the end of the song. Typically, I'd have another blank slide here just to have a blank to go to as they're ending the song. Let me just click this little black arrow, this little arrow here, add new slide, and it'll just put a slide here. So I could just have something to go to after they've sung the last part of that song. And then, if they went to another song, whatever song they're going to, you just click on the next line item. Notice this icon over here, Salvation is here, is yellow now instead of this kind of purpley blue. That's because I made a change. Remember, I just added that blank slide at the bottom. When you make any kind of change, moving a slide, changing a background, a lyric content, this is ProPresenter's way of letting you know that you've made a change. And we will do that on a Sunday. They'll move lyrics, they'll change backgrounds. Always just like any other program on Mac or PC, File, and we'll just do a save all. It just kind of saves everything. It's always a safe bet. Post-service slides, similar to the beginning service slides, they're just a little different, but as far as how you trigger them, the same. So there you have it.